can tell someone's had a nose job though? Like,
well, yeah.
It's got that little box.
You can't stop staring.
I can't. Well, you are
Especially
gorgeous.
with guys. Lately,
Oh my God. I dated a guy that had a nose job.
And would he shut
He
up
was
about
a
it or
dick.
no?
He was the worst person on the planet. A guy
Yeah.
with a nose job is not okay.
It's not it. That means they put
Like,
a
no,
lot
like
into their
electively a
appearance.
nose job. Not because he got punched in the face in a
No.
bar fight. Like, that's
Totally.
hot. Like, that's
That's
my
hot.
husband. That's my husband. He has a deviated septum and he's got to get
Because he got punched
He
in a
was
bar
a
fight?
Marine and he got like a bottle to the face.
It's
like, I'm into
hot.
that. But
It's very Jax. Jax from Vanderpump Rules.
oh,
Jax got a nose job. Do you remember
I
that?
legitimately think there's alcohol
Yeah, but
in
it's
this.
so that is such a good call. It's so Jax, like, like that.
Wait,
Jax.
who's
Yes.
Jax?
Oh.
The bigger guy, he got kicked off,
Oh,
but
he
he's
did?
like OG.
On Vanderpump.
OG.
Yes,
Yeah.
OG
He used to
Vanderpump.
date
Hot one.
Stassi.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
coming
yeah.
back on the show.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
She
and
knows
he's
all
with
the
Brittany
things.
now.
And
He's
you
with-
know a lot of the things.
We do. I do. You know a lot about Selling Sunset, of course.
I know a lot about anything that's dumb, tacky, and like lit really well. I know about.
Okay.
Yes,
So this show right
So this show right here.
It's so interesting though because your videos are anything but that. You're making fun of what we all notice, why we hate these
Thank
people.
you.
You're bringing out the parts of them that we hate the most, but with such a funny, creative, well-written spin on it. A really wise, funny spin on it.
How do you
Thank
write
you.
your
How?
stuff? It's
It's
so
actually
good.
mostly improv.
No, I don't believe you. Are you serious?
Yeah, unless I'm doing like I did a Mykonos and South of France video last year.
saw those.
And I've never been to Europe, so those I had to like help write. But the Selling Sunset, all the Aquarius stuff, like that's all improv.
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps me like on my toes. And I've been doing improv since I was like 10.
Okay.
And I grew up watching Real Housewives. Like Bravo was the only thing on in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't written. And so I was just like, I want to do that and I want to make it funny. And that's what I did.
That's exactly what you're doing. I love it. I
Yeah.
grew up with all those shows too. I loved reality. I feel like before anybody loved reality.
Totally. There's such like a beautiful art to it. And like the way these women, like the way they just have such a different reality than everybody else, but they really believe in it.
Oh, they definitely believe it.
That
yeah.
was something where I was like, that's art and that's so good. And
It's
I
so
just like
good.
attached to it.
It's amazing that you could be that rich, go on that many fabulous trips, and still not be able to have fun.
Ooh.
That's what I think is crazy.
But you know what? I've kind of experienced that in the last year, not being that rich. Okay, not
Hey,
that.
this is a privileged
How
viewpoint,
rich are
This
you?
is a privilege.
How rich are you? How
I'm
much money
so
is in your bank
fucking
account?
rich and I'm not having fun.
All the creator fund.
But I've been in like the most beautiful, like some pretty places.
Mykonos.
And when I say the most beautiful places, I just mean a beach in Miami. And of course, like, I've been working like minimum wage jobs for my whole life. And now the past couple of years, I've been able to experience different things. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh, you can still be sad with a drink in your hand.
Exactly.
And like hot friends and
Who
like
hurt you, Amanda? And do
places.
I have to kill them?
everybody. No, I'm kidding.
I will kill everybody for you.
What's the number one rule? I'm going to put you on the spot
Yeah.
of improv.
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Yes, and. Yes,
Did you ever
and.
go to the Groundlings or?
Yes. I started at Second City when I was young.
Oh, she's
So
legit.
Second City is in Chicago, and it's an improv troupe. It's where a lot of the SNL alum stem from. That is so cool. Tell us
Thank
about
you. I mean, I was so bad at everything in school. I was failing. Like even since I was in like first, second grade, school was so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom was just like, we have to figure out like another way. She's like, I know my child isn't dumb. We just have to find what she loves. Even though like I was acting dumb as hell. And so then she brought me to Second City. I grew up in Moore Park, like 45 minutes outside of LA. So they were able to drive
Moore
me
Park.
Yes.
Beautiful.
into the city.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's so
suburban. I know it well.
yeah.
Yep.
And so she drove me into the city, and I remember being in my first Second City class and like doing my first performance. I was like, oh my God, I found something that clicks with me. It was the first time like I had ever felt real love and passion for
Oh,
something.
I love
So
that.
cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
it was-
The arts is so important, and you teach kids too. I mean, like it's
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah.
if you see
I don't
want
to talk about it.
Okay. If you see
She
a kid,
did not yes and to that one.
Yes and no.
fuck you.
Yes and no.
No, but like I would imagine if you see a kid like come to life, of course, in the arts, it's got to be one of the most rewarding things.
Yes, I was just listening to Jane Fonda speak about taking Lee Strasberg's class for the first time ever. And when Lee Strasberg said to her, you're an actor, you have real talent, it was like somebody opened her head and birds flew out. And I thought, that's such a good analogy. Like I can imagine that just feeling free.
Free.
You know? Free.
And you
that's so
felt
wonderful.
that.
You are so good. What would be, maybe it's too early for this question, but on your
I already
Instagram.
asked her about her breast size.
Yeah,
There's
let's
no
talk about
early-
anything.
Okay, what's your vagina size?
It's
I've been told it's like I would say it's a small. I've been told it's a small.
Oh, you've been told.
Say I'm a medium.
I'm like a 2.4, 2/4.
Yeah, what have you got? What's your vagina size?
I would say, okay, so
somebody should start sizing vaginas. Why have they not thought of that?
I know
Yeah.
they've tried to like put us down in every other way and make us compare and,
Yeah, but
and feel
nobody's
competitive. No
sizing
one's
our
sizing
vaginas.
vaginas.
Well, how big is your vagina? Well, mine's bigger. It's also
They
like
do have vaginal rejuvenation.
yes.
Totally. Are you saying?
No.
You're
I'm
at
not
that
saying I
point.
don't need it.
And
I feel
no
like you do.
shame.
I don't
No
need it.
shame.
No. I don't need
What
it.
is that though? Really? Have you ever done anything like that? Have you ever had a colonoscopy?
I'll tell you right now, like, I feel like the amount I talk about my vagina is a lot. I've had everything happen to my vagina.
Oh,
like,
no.
truthfully. Like, I'm just a vagina expert.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like
It's
what?
like I'm going to write a book one day about me and my vagina.
Oh my gosh!
Really?
My vagina and I?
Oh, I like that. I do like the title of that.
Yeah, actually, I think that slaps harder.
Hey, vagina.
It's different.
me, Amanda. It's like that, Chelsea Handler one.
Yeah,
Hey, vagina.
yeah. Are you there, God? It's me.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
tiny hole.
Yeah.
My
extra small.
What? Tell me about the things that have gone on. I mean, if
your vagina?
I'll start us off. I had toxic shock syndrome.
Oh my god!
No.
Really? You are like a unicorn.
You're a Wikipedia
I've never
page.
known
crazy?
I've never heard of.
I know. That's when you made me
So
think about it.
tell us
people
everything.
Assume it's because you leave your tampon in too long. I'm sure that's not the case.
No, it's being allergic. So the very first time I put a tampon on, I was really young. I think it was like 12. I was doing a show. I was doing Grease, and I literally went into shock. I stopped breathing. I went into shock. I had a male doctor. He said he didn't know what it was. He didn't know what it was. Then finally, a female doctor came in, said to my mom, "Is she on her period?" My mom said yes, and she goes, "Because we think it might be toxic shock." My mom spread my legs open, ripped that thing out of me, and I survived. I mean, truly, I almost
Holy
died. You have like a
shit.
20% chance of living. Anyway,
No.
This is an amazing story.
this is a very dark story, and it's not funny at all.
And the people need to know about it.
Toxic shock, yes, I was allergic. So now I use, and yeah, I'm on birth control, so I barely get anything now, but I use Instead or The Ring.
Oh, I tried the
Okay.
ring.
Yes,
the ring was
yes.
really hard for me. I got a lot of.
Is that like the Diva Cup?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what it is, yes.
Wow, at 12 years old.
What are you going to do?
Like, to not be able to use a tampon. It's already so.
terrifying.
I couldn't use a tampon until I was like 17 or so. I was too much.
I know, I think because I was doing a lot of dancing and a lot of shows.
Totally, you
and I had
guys were like on
sisters.
set.
Your
Yeah,
body.
I needed to put it in, and I put it in, and it was like, nope. I went into shock pretty quickly. And I stopped breathing. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, who cares? Enough about me.
I
want to know enough about my
care.
vagina. I want to know about your vagina.
Insane. Like working.
Grease lightning. And then-
Yeah, talk about Grease Lightning.
I know, and I think my mother was so crazy. She said, "Well, you're still doing the show." I think she still made me finish that show.
No
Yes.
way.
Is your
She
mom
said,
a stage mom?
"We'll go."
We never got into that. Is she kind of a stage mom like my mom?
well,
my
my
mom's
mother-
the biggest stage mom.
Wait,
I know.
really?
Well,
I love her.
you talked about that.
nuts. I love
My
her.
mother was, but she was always good about pretending like she wasn't.
I
Like,
love it.
You know, the
Right.
other mothers would never know. She never went inside to the rehearsals or anything. What about your mom? I know you're really close with your sister. You do so much work with your sister. What's that like?
And I'm really, really close with my mom. Like, we are such a tribe.
Oh.
Like, it's amazing. And my mom would always bring me to auditions and stuff, but she was never a stage mom. She just wanted me to be happy, knew I was awful in school. And so was just like, and I was on a Disney commercial. I was on Disney 365.
what?
I was on, yeah. So I'm like
So
kind of
Disney-
one
you're
of
a
you.
Disney
Yes,
kid.
kind of. I'm a
Yeah,
Disney
you
kid.
are.
I love
You
that.
are.
And it was like a big thing in my school. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, Amanda's on Disney Channel. Like, Amanda's on Disney." Like, it was a big thing.
Why? Why was that such a? I know. When I was in school.
Well, think about it. Those were our celebrities. Like,
Yes.
you guys were our
Yeah, it was
Kardashians
before
in a
social
way.
media.
Like,
before
so we were allowed to
reality.
watch.
yes.
Yeah, it definitely was a different.
Did you have the Disney Channel? Did you have cable growing up? So you watched it, obviously.
Oh, yeah. I remember one of my earliest memories, actually, is I remember coming home from first grade, and it was like a Friday. We got let out early, and I made it home in time to watch That's So Raven. And I remember watching my first episode of That's So Raven, being like, "Oh my God, I'm one of the cool kids. Like, I get to watch That's So Raven." And I was so happy.
Do you remember what episode it was?
I don't, but my roommate and I recently watched the Okeechobee episode.
Oh, I wouldn't even remember.
It's when you tell Mr. Baxter he falls asleep when he's about to make something for like San Francisco, like TV or something, and you have to wake him up by saying Okeechobee, and you push him down the stairs with the flat ironing board.
Ooh.
Do you remember this?
I don't. I'm sorry.
I love
didn't.
that she
It's
doesn't
so
That
remember.
was so long ago.
Such
How
a
do you not
wild-
remember? That's
Because they made her
wild.
do crazy shit for years.
Well, I just think we were so young. It's hard for me to even remember what happened this weekend.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're just like living in people's brains and you're like, I don't remember.
Well, I really
It's iconic.
You know what? I was saying to somebody else. I remember I found the storylines in the show quite confusing because
They really were.
so much happened, right? She was psychic, then she was here, she was there. It was real, it was fake. I was telling Wizards of Waverly Place, I was here for David, and I literally was like, okay, my line. Oh, I'm not in that scene. I might not even have to come in on Thursday. Fantastic. Oh, I'm not in that one. Great. I was really just reading my lines. So
Totally.
I don't even know sometimes what the episode's about. That's terrible.
But it's not like it's rooted in reality,
Right.
right? Like all of those shows were just like like whatever keeps kids entertained.
Right. There's not some emotional place I needed to start out and end at. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have any like character work to do.